On this episode of Beyond the Check, we made our way to the quaint hidden gem seaside town of Beaufort, South Carolina. Named the most charming town in the South by Vogue magazine, it is filled with adorable storefronts, cozy bars, and a plethora of fantastic, friendly locals who seem to smile as they pass. And of course, there is some great cuisine to be discovered. I found one that embodies everything that Beaufort had to offer. Nestled in the heart of historic downtown, and since they don't have a sign per se, you'll be pleasantly surprised if you stumble into the Old Bull Tavern. Owned and operated by Chef John Marshall and Oscar Salas, and managed by the brilliant Stacy Van Volpen, it started out small, but they have slowly expanded, adding a second dining area and even a gourmet pizza oven. It is not only a great place to eat, but to hang out with friends, family, and prominent locals. You can even get one of those amazing stone-fired pies to take home for dinner. Or hey, just a late-night snack. We did. Hi, I'm Rashawn Parker, writer, filmmaker, and foodie. I also worked in the service industry for over 20 years. From busser and dishwasher, prep cook, server, bartender, and manager, you name it, I've done it. So now I'm hitting the road. Find some of the best local favorite worker-owned restaurants across the country. Find out about their lives, the history of the restaurant, and of course, cook up and try some of the best dishes they have to offer. So join me, my wife and crew, as we go Beyond the Check, Worker-Owner Edition. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Season 2 of Beyond the Check. I'm Rashawn. We got Jordan. What's up, Jordan? Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
Good.
And, of course, we have the amazing, fantastic, beautiful, talented, camera beast, Nikki Hill.
Thank you for the introduction.
You're very welcome. You deserve it. I meant every word of it.
Thank you.
We are in Beaufort, South Carolina, and we're gonna go to a tavern called Old Bull Tavern, and we're gonna hang out with the owners John and Oscar, and the front of the house manager Stacy, and find out about the restaurant. Yeah, Jordan looked up the menu. I haven't. So what? Tell us a little. Anything?
Pizzas.
Pizzas. They got pizzas. They got anything besides pizzas?
Steak.
Steak. Cool. Nikki, you excited?
Yes. Pizza steak sounds great.
Jordan, you excited? She's excited. All right, but first, we're stuck at this bridge that apparently there's drawbridges around here. I don't know.
Opens up sideways.
Yeah. This is Michael. Michael, what do you do at the Old Bull Tavern?
Bar manager.
Bar manager.
Yeah.
So you got these crazy like wine kegs.
Yep, ran off of nitrogen.
Is that the first time you've ever seen like wine keg?
Like that, yeah, for sure.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Everybody says that too.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is a brilliant idea. Like, where do I get a keg of wine for my next like cheese party?
Just need a nitrogen tank and some hoses.
And a keg of wine.
Exactly.
And a keg of wine. How long have you been bartending?
Since I was 21, so 10 years now. Just turned 31.
So how'd you end up working at Old Bull Tavern?
Through Oscar, the other owner. A little while we bartended together. And he left, and I actually left too. And went and bartended at a country club, Brays Island, and was there for a few months. And he had called me and was like, hey, you want to come pour drinks at this place? So I said, yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So I want to hang out at this country club.
Yeah. And this has been way better. I've been here for 7 years now.
7 years.
They've been open 8.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Obviously not a bad place to work.
No, not at all.
What's your favorite thing to eat here?
Lamb shank.
Lamb shank. I think I'm having a lamb shank today. So
I get it every year on my birthday.
Every year on your birthday?
Yep, it's the warrior meal.
The warrior meal. Do you use a fork, or do you just straight like dive in and like?
Yeah, well, I do a fork, but
that is your birthday.
Yeah.
Classy on your birthday.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of regulars?
Oh yeah, big time. I see same people 3 or 4 times a week.
So do you know them by name or by drink?
Both.
Both.
Yeah. It's easier.
That's key.
It's easier to remember by drink though, for sure.
Right. You ever like walk around the store and you see someone comes in the bar and you're like, hey, what's up, vodka, Red Bull?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't go to Publix without seeing someone you see at the bar.
You gotta squeeze a lot of fruit in the mornings?
Lots of fruits to be squeezed, yeah.
Lots of fruits to be squeezed.
All fresh, and herbs, and yeah, I've worked at a couple bars, and this is the first one we use like all fresh, freshly squeezed, and I mean it makes a difference for sure.
That fresh squeezed orange juice in anything. It's
Oh
just,
yeah, and when you're doing it, you can smell it throughout like the whole bar. It just smells great. Like when you're doing lemons, lemony fresh.
Lemony fresh.
That's right. It's a great business. I mean, I know it's gonna keep going and maybe expanding. Who knows? And we'll see what happens.
All right, Mike. Thanks for hanging out with me, man. Appreciate it. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna go inside and meet all these owners.
Yeah, I'm gonna go open up and get ready for the night.
Make some drinks, baby.
Hell
Do it
yeah.
to it. Oh, no, let's do this. Woo! John! Oscar!
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Happy to do it.
Place is super cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's hang out.
Okay.
Let's have a party.
Fortunately, we have access to the bar.
I think I called at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you answered.
Yeah.
I'm Stacy Van Volpen. I'm the GM.
It is funny when people call to make a reservation. They're like, "Oh, you're there?" And it's like, yeah, it's amazing the things that happen behind the scenes to get the doors open at 5 o'clock. And I think it's a good thing that it is kind of smoke and mirrors, you know. They don't see all the work and the welding fence posts and fixing tables or dealing with down, refrigeration. To them, they just come in and have a good time.
I'm John Marshall. I'm a chef at Old Bull Tavern. Came here 8 years ago and was looking around downtown for a building, nothing to find, and all of a sudden this building became available, just this one building. Contacted the owners and got in here and started building. Cool. Wanted to build something that was someplace that I really wanted to go to. I like good food, but I don't like to put on a tie. So I like good food and drink, and decided make a place that I wanted to have in the end, where I would like to go to.
And I'm Oscar Sauce, and I'm one of the co-owners of Old Bull Tavern. Like a plumber, electrician, welder, fix it all.
This is so true.
Work at night with guests, do wine. I mean, whatever, we just fill in gaps. Whatever skills that we have, we fill them in. And when there's a need, we figure it out. I mean, we were fixing something out in the gate welding yesterday, just to try to get our lights up. And it's for us to make this place just what it needs to be for our guests to come in comfortably and eat that food and have the experience. It doesn't matter how do we get there. It's like learning computers. It doesn't matter. We try to do everything and anything. This is our original room. We call it room 205. This was the first building that was opened when Old Bull Tavern opened. And as you can see, we pretty much kind of kept everything original. This is an old bar. We just recovered it, we cleaned it, we painted it. We've not tried to revamp any of it. This wall right here, this is our granny wall. This is probably one of the most important things because Grandma Dorothy, which is Chef's grandma, was his inspiration for cooking.
Somebody asked me one time what type of food that I like to cook, and I just said, well, we cook grandma food if your grandma's a really good cook. So to pay homage to our grandmothers and that history of home cooking, we asked our employees to bring in pictures of their grandmothers, and they look down on us every night while we're doing service.
And
We have the coolest tables. Now these are reclaimed bowling alley tables, and they're very vintage. They were made years ago, and they're about as heavy as you can go. And exactly right.
That is solid.
Try being a server lifting that, dude. They earn their money here. We have
solid
these
table.
really cool, and I don't know if you noticed these. We have these really cool kind of Soho holes in this wall that were drilled through 4 cores of brick so that some of the ambiance can go back and forth. And if you were to look through that hole, it's like looking through a viewfinder. So of course we have our English phone booth. This is the real deal. All 1,800 pounds of English metal. It's incredibly cool. We drove real far to pick this up.
But where did you go to pick that up?
Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Sandwich of Massachusetts.
Bought it off of eBay.
Yeah, we got it off of eBay. Told the guy we'd be there. Took my wife, told her we're going on a nice fun trip. Turns out the thing weighs about 1,800 pounds. And
Does it really?
She's still mad at me. The guy was gracious enough, it was right on the Cape, and they bought it to make a shower for their pool. Well, when it arrived, his wife's like, that's disgusting, and stuck it in the garage, so we got lucky.
We did,
And
and
it's
it was
cool.
Because his wife didn't like it?
Yeah, so he just put on eBay. We got a pretty killer deal, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got it, and your wife got mad at you for getting it.
Forget it. Well, making her help lift it.
She was happy for the phone booth, but not the
Yes, she
labor.
was not happy with the labor.
And it is definitely our most photographed spot in the restaurant.
Absolutely.
People love to take
Yeah.
pictures in the phone booth.
It's pretty rad,
Yeah,
man. I think
super
it's
cool.
fun, dude. Yeah, it's cool. Everyone sees it their way. Doctor Who or Harry Potter if you have kids. So it kind of adds more narrative to
I went
experience.
straight to Doctor Who.
Right, that
I
dude-
wish it was blue.
I know we do Doctor Who too, but the kids love Harry Potter, man. It's all good.
Wow, please
So-
pleasure.
You got it, man. Watch your step. Cool. So here we go. We have our middle dining room we call room 207. And again, everything is just reclaimed, true rustic. So you see this beautiful kiln-dried oak brick wall.
Yeah.
Not only does it add like a warmth and a really cool like feel to rustic like environment, but it feeds our pizza oven. It's a beautiful Italian stone oven. John found this amazing Belgian bellows. It's hundreds of years old. It's like a beautiful piece, like it's like a violin. And this was actually something that a village or a small company or a blacksmith used to, just make things. We came up with this kind of crazy pulley system that would actually actuate the bellows. So it's got a counterbalance there, and we used to have a hose that would come here and stoke this fire, and it actually did work. And we thought it'd be cool to attach it here, but we weren't able to do that anymore.
Stupid fire.
I know, who needs them, right? But they came in here and ate. I'll tell you that much. So we spent a lot of time building these counters and being really thoughtful of having things that are local. And we've got a real, true old railroad tie here that is unbelievably heavy. I don't even know how we got it here.
5 people.
Got a 15-foot section of railroad tie that we know that 5 people can carry that.
Barely.
4? No.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, it takes at least 5.
Requires 5.
Yeah.
All of this stuff was just, it all has heart and soul, but we made it functional, I think. And that's all you can ask for, right? This is something that is very special to us. Sally Jo Brown, who is now our new Mayor Stephen Murray, this is his grandmother, and she used to be a seamstress in this building. And we were, yeah, dude, how cool is that? And so now he's we're proud of him. He's our mayor, and this is his grandma, and she was part of this. She worked here, she raised him, the memories that came out of this
So
place.
he can come in here and get pizza
and see
and
grandma.
hang out with his grandma.
Dude, how cool is that, right?
That's so cool,
It's
dude.
amazing, and he's such a great guy. So, yeah, it's just another opportunity to add soul and warmth to this place.
The other thing that they like to take a photo with is Ferdinand the
Oh,
Bull up
yeah.
there.
Oh, Ferdinand.
Yeah, which
Decked out for Christmas right now.
when I decided I was going to call the place the Old Bull Tavern, I thought it'd be really easy to get a bull's head. Well, it's not as easy as one might think to get a bull's head. I ended up buying it off eBay in Spain. And when it came here, it was in a box, it was loose, and it was
Stinky.
yeah, it was stinky. So I had to take it over to the local taxidermist to have him essentially redo the mount.
Because he was
was
festering a little.
Yeah, he was.
He was done by amateurs, I know that. But now he's good.
He's
Yeah.
primo now.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of locals.
Oh, yeah.
Good mix, actually, but yes, we do have good regular customers.
Is
And
Beaufort kind of a touristy town?
Beaufort is, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, one of our biggest.
Yeah, it's a big tourism town. We get a lot of people that have read on us on social media and come in, and they like to meet locals. Anytime you're going someplace or from out of town, you ask where the locals go. And so you end up with a mix of locals and
And the tourists that are asking, yeah.
Oh my God, that's why I'm here.
It worked.
we were kind of taken aback, or at least I was surprised on March 17th. They said, well, you got to close tomorrow. And I was like,
You got what?
what?
Yeah.
No.
And at first we were like, okay, well, maybe it's just for a couple of days. Okay, maybe a week.
Mhm.
Turned out being 2.5 months that we were
It
closed.
was 2.5 months,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Didn't even do takeout or
No.
No,
wasn't worth the hassle?
just the length of our menu to really offer anything. It just became a challenge, and so we just used the time to get some things done inside. And
Yeah, we didn't really have a to-go program as well developed.
We never did to-go food
Yeah.
before.
So now we
Wow.
actually have a pretty awesome to-go program.
yeah,
To make up for those half of the
you
seats.
know,
that are-
necessity is the mother of all invention.
Yeah.
right?
That evolved quick.
we
Yeah.
do curbside pickup. We rented a couple of the parking spots right out front from the city for $10 for
$10.
6 months.
Which is cool. right?
Yes, thank you,
That's
City.
cool.
Thank you, City of
Thank you,
Beaufort, for
Yeah.
extending a helping hand. So that has
Absolutely.
worked out well, and yeah.
Got any ridiculous nights that are just like, oh my god, that was a trip. I can't even believe that happened.
I mean,
I guess I should have
Probably
given
one
that.
of my most fond memories was our Mardi Gras, our Maudie Monday night.
Yeah.
It was a fundraiser for Help with Beaufort, a food drive, and a couple of bands showed up, one of which being members of our Marine Corps brass band. And so we had an impromptu, well, it wasn't, we knew we were going to have a gathering, but it got really big. And
March
so,
Madness.
yeah, we
It
wound
turned
up-
into Mardi Gras.
it turned into Mardi Gras. The street, we had people dancing in the street, bands playing. And then we said, man, we're having such a good time. We had contemplated doing a parade, and then we wound up just making an impromptu parade through town, down the waterfront
Now,
park.
legally, it was not a parade. It was actually
It
a
was a-
walk with music.
It was walk with music, yes, because a couple of days later, the police showed up and said, served John a ticket for an illegal parade.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Yes.
got hauled into court for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though we paraded down Waterfront Park and
I'm not really in the street.
not
No,
really
well, we did
We
kind
did
of
actually.
go down the street a little bit. Yeah,
maybe
but a little
right
bit.
across the street. We went to a couple of patios down there. The mayor was actually in one of the restaurants at the patio, and
Came out and joined us.
the new mayor owns a kazoo company, and he provided everyone with kazoos.
Yeah.
So there was, I don't know, 150 people, and then people just joined on. So there was probably 100 or so people with kazoos playing when the Saints come marching in. Walking through
Imagine
town
that.
Beaufort.
Imagine that.
So no police came when the parade was happening.
No police saw it.
But
No.
after the fact. So
And yeah, and then when John went to court, the judge is asking, well, who was the arresting officer? Well, there wasn't an arresting officer. Well, then why are we even here? How did anybody even find out about this? We saw it on Facebook.
What?
Facebook was my accuser.
Facebook was your accuser. Oh man, I'm so glad I asked that question.
But yeah, that was a good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
But,
So
it
threw
was
out.
dismissed.
It was
Yeah.
dismissed.
The
Right.
first, the judge is looking at his assistant, says, I can't remember her name. Marge, have we ever had this charge before? No, Your Honor, we have never had this charge before. Illegal for me.
they're like, get rid of it. Isn't that crazy? When I got here, John had started a wine keg program, which is, you think about like wine in a box or something, it kind of throws you off. But these are fantastic wines that can be made to the process that they're made and bottled in, but put into kegs that are pressured. So when you're adding like nitrogen or air, that's the only time. They're never getting air, they're never getting corked, they're never getting bad. So you're suddenly getting this wine that you would pay twice as much for in a bottle because of the labeling, the bottling, the shipping, the storage. They put it in a keg, so the cost comes forward to us, and we can forward that deal to our guest. And the wine is fantastic. I mean, we have Côte d'Arones, we have Sauvignon Blancs from Chile, we have Cabernets from Napa Valley, and this is all in a keg format. So you're always getting a fresh pour out of this keg. We can keep it there, store it, and our guest is benefiting from it.
The first class and the last class tastes exactly the same because they're not exposed to that.
They're not exposed. I mean, it's fantastic. And everybody, these big wineries now, all of them are making them now. So it's getting more competitive. I probably won't say anything on camera. Everyone else is going to get in on it. But it's probably the best thing that you could have in your
I've never had
business.
wine out of a cake before.
You will today.
Might have to ask.
And we have a pretty good, really good cocktail program.
Oh, yeah.
Craft cocktails.
Fantastic. I mean, these guys are muddling and we're making syrups and tonics, and we make our own juices. We squeeze our own fruit every day. I mean, you're getting a really true crafted fresh cocktail when you buy one here, and it's a great price. So.
Okay, so I'm going to try some fruit today.
Cool.
Right here. Would you like to just walk me through what we're going to try today?
Sure. We're gonna do a couple things that have, the menu changes quite frequently, but actually there are some things that I can't take off the menu just because people come here for it. First, we're gonna do one of our popular salads called the winemaker salad. So known because it has grapes as a component and Ubriaco cheese, which is a cheese that's aged under grape must. We're gonna start out with a little bit of artisan lettuce mix in the bowl. We're gonna add some of the Ubriaco to toss with it. Add the grapes. And we're reserving a little bit of all of these items to toss over the top or to garnish with. And these are some toasted walnuts here. This is a citrus vinaigrette. Of course, salt and pepper. We're going to toss that together and plate. Taking care because the heavier garnish likes to fall to the bottom. So we top the whole salad with salami slices. Another thing you might see a winemaker might have for lunch during the crush. And top with some more garnish, that's toasted walnuts, and a little bit more of the Ubriaco cheese. And voila.
All right, here she is, winemaker salad. Meow. We have the winemaker's salad here. It looks fantastic. It's got some nuts and some prosciutto and some Parmesan cheese and some tomatoes and all the goodness. So let's give her a go. Have you ever had a winemaker salad before?
No.
Have you ever heard of a winemaker salad before?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, cheers. Winemaker salad. That's really good. Oh, that might be one of the best salads I've ever had.
Very good.
Definitely one of the best salads I've ever had. Love it. Nikki, you're gonna love it too. It's coming at you. You ready?
So next we're gonna make a dish, a gnocchi dish that I learned in the Veneto in Italy. It was the first day that I had gone to this particular restaurant that I was going to go work in. And normally what I would do when I was going to Italy is I would go and look at the restaurant the night before, eat there, and then I would start working the next day doing a stage there. So this was the first dish I had at the first restaurant that I was working in Italy in advance of opening my restaurant. And it's a ricotta and mascarpone gnocchi with fresh local shrimp here. I told the owner that whatever happened, I wanted to walk away knowing this dish. And
you did.
I did. I got my wish the next morning. I had 50 pounds of gnocchi dough to roll out on the table. So you got to be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. So anyway, we'll start these with the gnocchi. They're all rolled by hand. They're mascarpone, ricotta, parmesan. They're barely held together by flour, so they're nice and soft. A very an Italian mascarpone dumpling. I'm going to put those in the water first. A little boiling salted water. Get those going while we start the shrimp. So we're gonna start out with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of butter. Get that going. We're gonna add some grape tomatoes to the dish. Get those working. Then a little bit of tomato sauce. Actually, about a cup. Get that nice and hot. And the shrimp don't take too long, and let this cook for just a minute. The gnocchi are going well. We just got to make sure that they, when they float, they're essentially done. So we're just incorporating that butter into the tomato sauce. The tomatoes are just barely cooking. See the butter melting in there, gives it a nice rich flavor. These are some local Beaufort shrimp. They're cut into pieces because in Italy, the garnish should accompany the pasta in such a way where you're not having a huge shrimp and then a small pasta. You want to have you want the ability to have your shrimp and your pasta in your mouth together at the same time. That's why these shrimp are cut the same size as the gnocchi. So we're gonna little salt and pepper, bam. And again, you don't want to cook the shrimp to death. You can see that tomato sauce is reducing. And turn off that gnocchi in the back. And in pasta dishes like this, it's always good to take a little bit of the water with you. So I'm taking a little bit of that water. So that pasta water, the little bit of the flour that's in the pasta transfers to the plate, into the sauce, helps thicken it up. Shrimp is cooked through. We're going to add a little bit of Parmesan. Not a lot, because we're going to garnish the top with Parmesan. Toss this again. And then we're going to plate. You can smell that.
Oh, yeah.
And then this is a little chiffonade of fresh basil. And there you have it. Ricotta gnocchi with local shrimp, grape tomatoes.
Ricotta gnocchi. Ricotta.
Ricotta.
Ricotta gnocchi with local shrimp. All right, we have the ricotta and gnocchi with the beautiful tomato sauce and the local shrimp. So it's a seafood
shrimp.
gnocchi. Yeah, seafood gnocchi.
Yeah.
So the shrimp is the same size as the gnocchi, so that you can have them both in your mouth at the same time. That's what he told me. So get in there, and here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh man.
You wouldn't think cheese and shrimp go together.
But it does.
But it does.
Really good. Bravo, chef. I didn't see the Italian in you, but it does shine through. You brought it back from Italy, and I hope that you did that chef justice. I believe that you did. Negi, you want some gnocchi? Yeah, here you go.
The main course, and I hope you brought a big appetite, is lamb shank. This is another dish that I've learned in Italy. I was in Spoleto, and I was at the person's home that provides our olive oil, Porcelli, and his grandmother actually cooked this, so it's a fitting dish for a restaurant that's all about grandma food. So we start out the pan with a little bit of olive oil, Porcelli olive oil. Get that hot. Normally we're doing 30 of these in a day. I'm only gonna do 2 just for the demonstration's sake. Otherwise, we'd be on an hour-and-a-half show. We're taking the lamb shanks. And what's really important in lamb shanks or any kind of braised meat is that you get the meat brown. So we're adding those in, add a little bit more olive oil. We'll put a little bit of salt and pepper on them. These things take a minute to brown up, but the browning really makes the dish. The browner you can get it, the better the meat's gonna taste. Eventually, it's gonna go into a slow oven for these things cook for 4 hours until they're falling off the bone tender. You can see how they're starting to brown up here. All right. Once those things are browned all the way around, we're gonna pull them out. Turn the heat a little bit lower. Add our tomato sauce. Watch, it's gonna spatter. Get that rolling. Red wine. These are oil-cured olives, so they're not your typical olives that you eat out of hand. They're generally used for cooking. I mean, people do eat them out of hand, but there are lots of herbs in them. So you can see the rosemary, there's thyme in there. We're gonna add those in, and we're adding them in whole, but we're going to, at the end of the cooking process, we're gonna take the lamb shanks out of it, and then we're gonna roughly pulse in the food processor the whole mix. So we're gonna put these olives in. We're gonna add something a little bit, most people wouldn't think that these would be in a dish, but anchovies. It gives it a real nice, earthy, salty base. So those will cook with the lamb as well. And then some whole garlic. Now, that garlic is gonna cook for 4 hours. So it's gonna turn out to be really soft, really sweet, really brown. Then we can put our lamb shanks back in. We're gonna cover this with some foil. We're gonna put it in the oven. It'll cook for 4 hours, anywhere between 300 and 325. And when it comes out, I will show you what it looks like. We're gonna plate this on top of some mashed potatoes. You can see that the lamb shank has literally fallen off the bone. French green beans, some shallots and vinegar. These are some roasted carrots with nigella seeds. And then we're gonna take some of this braising liquid that has all those delicious bits of olives right over the top. There we have it. Braised lamb shank over truffled mashed potatoes, green beans and roasted carrots, and that sauce, olive, herb, red wine, and tomato sauce. So, bon appetito.
All right, here we go. The beautiful, amazing braised lamb shank. Oh my God, I'm going to destroy this thing. All right, we have the featured entree here. It is the lamb shank. It is their house specialty, and it looks big and delicious. You want to pick it up and just eat it like?
No.
No? You sure?
Absolutely.
You sure? You're 100%. You don't just want to
Stop.
Flintstone it?
Waste of time.
Okay. And then we also have the Truth or Consequences Red Blend that comes in the keg of wine, so that it never goes bad. Cheers. Try that. I'm a red wine person. She's not. What'd you think?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Pretty good.
Would you at least drink a whole glass of that?
Possible.
Possible. Your lamb. It should just fall apart. You don't even need. You shouldn't need the knife at all. And you don't need the knife at all. It smells so good. It's like a beautiful roast at your grandmother's house. Ching, ching, ching. All right. Lamb shake.
Cheers.
Cheers. You kidding me? Savory, melts in your mouth. Barely have to chew it.
Your bean.
Green bean. Green bean. A little garlicky, flavorful, crispy, still fresh. Girl, this is a carrot. This is a very fun carrot. That. It's like a carrot chip. It's very meaty. And because of the char on it, it has like this almost this nice charred meaty flavor to the carrot, actually. Really good. I'm eating the rest of it.
Wait, sesame seeds?
I'm not sure.
It is.
Sesame seeds. Spot on. I feel bad for the lamb for having to give its life for us, but I thank it for doing so, because it is one tasty, tasty morsel. All right, Nikki, here she comes. You ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, we got dessert.
A little bit of butterscotch pudding with some caramel sauce, and sea salt. First time we put this dish on a menu, man came in and had it. And then the next night we ran out. We didn't make it again for a week. He called every day for, I don't know, until we made it again, which was about 5 days. He came in and he ordered 4 of them and ate them one after another. So that was a pretty good plug for our butterscotch pudding, and we run it pretty regularly. So very simple, caramel custard pudding. It's got a little bit of Dewar's Scotch in it, and we just top it off with a quenelle of fresh whipped cream, a little bit of caramel sauce, and to give it that punch, because it's so sweet, to add the salt helps give it a nice balance. This is Malden's flaked sea salt. Put a little bit of that on the top. It's a very simple process. I mean, it's milk, cornstarch, and brown sugar. And you get the cornstarch going like you're going to make a caramel. You add in the milk that's add a little bit of cornstarch added to it, so like a pudding. Then you cook it out for probably about 5 minutes. Let it cool, portion it out, and then it's ready. And it's simple, but it's one of those, again, kind of grandma-y things like they made back in the day that just, it has a place that resonates now, and it's just super, super tasty.
The beautiful butterscotch pudding. finally for dessert time, Chef has made us this lovely butterscotch pudding with some sea salt, fresh
Whipped cream.
whipped cream, and some caramel sauce. So let's get in. Whoa. It is creamy, soft. Oh. Wow.
Tastes like a Werther's original.
That's what it is. It tastes like a creamy Werther's original. It's like if grandma was making grandpa his favorite dessert, this is what it would be. And my grandfather would totally be about this too. Yeah, I literally was that kid who, like, my grandpa gave me the Werther originals. So it's like, that was my real life.
So grandma, they were like 100 years old.
All right, cheers. Here's to Old Bull Tavern. Thank you all for having us. This wine is fantastic. The food is delicious. And you guys are amazing. Thanks. We'll see you again soon. We're totally staying to finish this wine though. It's definitely happening.
What is your individual favorite parts of working and owning your own restaurant? And then I'll ask you what it's like to work with these two fools.
Okay.
Yeah. John?
My favorite part is breathing life into it every day. Is that you come in and no matter what happens, this didn't get delivered, this did get delivered, what can we do with this? All of those little changes as you're getting closer and closer and closer to the time the door is open. All of the little pieces and puzzles that have to be worked together until the door opens and the first guest comes in and you got it. You know, it's like, we're dialed in, we handled all of these little issues, and now we're ready to smile and we're ready to just, share the love. And to me, that's the most gratifying, is to take all those little challenges, fix them up, tie a bow on them, and offer them to our guests.
I don't know if you noticed, but as you were telling me that story, I just slowly just smiled. Like, my smile just got so big as you told that story. That's fantastic. Oscar.
I mean, that's like the perfect answer. It's like the instant gratification of like your decisions, actions, and choices of that day. Because in this industry, it's someone comes in, your opportunity is now to make them happy, or to possibly ruin their birthday, their anniversary. So, to see somebody completely happy and tell 25 people or come back, but you feel that at that moment. You can see it if you're really paying attention. You can read and feel your guest and see that all of your actions just accumulated to that one moment. So it's the same deal. I feel it like we pick a wine, or, he makes a meal, Stacy talks to someone on the phone, they come in, they're like, I talked to Stacy. So it's like we're all setting our guests up to have an experience. And when that finishes itself and it's a good one, dude, it's like, what else do you want?
It makes me laugh.
I got nothing.
It's like being at home, like I told you earlier. When you have that going on, that dynamic, you're at home having a party with your friends.
Right.
And then you have the turn of the screw.
Yeah.
The other end of that question.
All right, what's your favorite part about working with these two fools?
Well,
That's a good description.
two fools, yes, but they are my family. And the best part that for me is the level of respect and consideration that they show me and we show one another. They're definitely the owners, but they include me in the decisions and the operations, and I couldn't ask for more.
Are we gonna cry now?
I'm getting teary-eyed
Me too.
explaining it, but yeah, it's not just a job. These guys are my family.
No.
And we're only as good as what she does, the truth. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, y'all are doing a fantastic job.
Well,
And
Put our heart
we
into
put our heart and souls into it, and we have many folks every day to thank them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Grateful
We're just
for
the
each
three
other and
sitting
grateful-
down with you
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
You're going to see the
rest of the family.
The family, exactly.
All right, everyone. If you are in Beaufort, South Carolina, you have to come to the Old Bull Tavern and hang out with these fantastically articulate and fun
group of family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because, yeah, it's awesome. It's a great place. A lot of fun. And maybe if you show up, you might end up at a parade. It could happen. If they get a permit. All right, rock and roll, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Very
very
much. Rock and
Cool.
roll. Cheers.
Cheers.
It is not warm in the south. Not at all. Boy. Oh boy. I am stuffed. I went back and finished off that lamb shank because that was amazing. So that was my favorite thing. Jordan, what was your favorite thing?
The butterscotch
Pudding?
pudding.
Really? You went for dessert this time?
We went for dessert last time.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Oh man. Two dessert loaves. All right. I mean, that salad too. It was one of the best salads I've ever had. I know I said the best, but I guess I need to say it's one of the best. And it definitely was one of the best salads I've ever had. But that lamb shank, god dang. Nikki.
It was really good.
The gnocchi. I'm a big fan of pasta and tomato sauce, so that was delicious. I wouldn't want gnocchi and nothing like.
The shrimp.
With the shrimp? You like
Yeah,
shrimp?
the
Yeah.
shrimp was delicious. It was perfect. He was right about the shrimp being small with the gnocchi, because you get everything you need in every bite.
Right? Nailed it. You know, when it comes to putting things in portion sizes, size matters. All right, we had a really great time at the Old Bull Tavern. Those people are fantastic. We're going to go get warm at home now for a little while. So we'll see you next time when we go Beyond the Check, Worker Owner Edition. Cheers.
You made it sound like Josh Hawks. That's what he does on the phone to you.
Okay.
Okay. Nikki's got some lamb shank. It is.
It is really like melty.
Uh huh. Right?
Oh my god. It doesn't even like. Oh my god. Like, I don't even like lamb, but this is really good. This is really good. Like, it's not gamey or anything. It's just like, it tastes like how meat should taste. It's melty and perfect. Oh my god.